In this lesson, we'll begin to build our modern fireplace. Alright, so this is going to be a good exercise, like I mentioned in the last lesson, at using a single piece of geometry and really looking at how we can take that and extract pieces from that, use that to create a bunch of different pieces. So the first thing we're going to do is create kind of the base shape for the fireplace. So I'm going to go into the top view here, and I'm going to go to create, and let's just create a cylinder. We'll go ahead and drag this out to something like that. Go ahead and drag up the height, and then we can go into our perspective and take a look at that. Alright, I think the height is probably pretty close, maybe a little bit, we want to make it a little bit shorter. So go ahead and drag that down. Okay, and the sides I'm going to leave at 18. Okay, and the cap segments, I'm going to go ahead and add 2 cap segments there. Alright, just to give us a little bit of geometry up there. So I want to go ahead and shape this a little bit. So I'm just going to scale it, and I'm just going to scale it in the Y. So I'll just pull it down so it's kind of flattened out, kind of like that. Alright, so now that we've got that, let's go ahead and make that, now that I've got it squished, I'm going to make it a little bit taller there. Let's scale the whole thing down a bit. I'm not going to quite rotate it yet, but just so it's something that's close to that shape is what you're looking for, basically. Okay, so now that we've got that, I want to create these kind of framework along the side. So to do that, I can actually use the geometry that is here on our cylinder. So I'm going to go ahead and convert this to an editable poly, and I want to select the polygons that I want to use for this. So I'm going to basically take the halfway point and select 2 on either side, okay, all the way down. I'll go ahead and select all of these polygons, and then I'll do the same thing over on the other side. Okay, and let me go ahead and just move this up and out of the way here, over here, so we can be clear. You could also hide everything else if you wanted to isolate that. So I'm going to go ahead and now select basically these faces over on this side, right over here, and then these. Okay, and then I want basically all of these faces up here. Okay, so something like that is what we're looking for, and this is where the kind of the edge of the framework is going to come out. So let's go ahead and we want to clone these. So I'm just going to detach them as a clone. So we'll go down to Edit Geometry, go to Detach as a clone. Say OK to that, and now we've got these pieces out here, which you can kind of see we've got here. I'm going to go ahead and add some thickness just by going down and adding a shell modifier to this. And I want to add the thickness on the outside, so go ahead and create a 0 inner amount, and then create an outer amount that is maybe a few inches here, maybe 3 inches or so. Doesn't have to be exact. Okay, and we'll go ahead and leave the segments. And now I want to kind of move this, or scale it up rather, or not scale it up, but create the length there, basically. So go ahead and collapse this shell. Okay, convert to editable poly, and I'm going to go ahead and select these vertices and just move them up along the Z. So I'll move these up something like that, and then I'll take the ones at the bottom, go ahead and move those down a bit. Okay, and this one's going to be not quite as far, so something like that, just under the floor. Alright, and now if we want to smooth this out, we want to obviously add some resolution here. So we'll go in and select an edge, select a ring, go ahead and do connect on here, and we'll add 2 segments and just pull those out to the ends. Okay, do the same thing over here. Go ahead and select our ring, go to connect, do the same thing there, and now we want to add just a couple lines over here. So again, we'll go to select the ring, okay, and then this time when we connect, we'll just do 1 segment and we'll slide it over to the end. Okay, we'll do the same thing over here. Just go up and select that ring, grab this, select the ring, and connect, and this time we'll drop it over to the other side there at the same distance. Alright, and then just do the same process over here. Okay, and one more over on this side. Go ahead and drop that in, and this time we'll go back over to the other side. Got the same amount. Okay, and now what we can do is add some resolution in here. So if I grab basically both of these, I can do connect on those. And now let's go ahead and bump up these segments, and we'll kind of slide these along there, just to add a little bit more res in there. Do the same thing down here, maybe only 2. Okay. And now for this top, I want to have this be nice and sharp. So let's add one more up at the top, which we can drag up to the very top. Okay. So very quickly we were able to take just a few polygons off the side of our cylinder and create this kind of framework that we have, and we can go ahead and smooth that if we want. You can see that that is sort of what it looks like there. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue on here. Let's again go back to our cylinder in the middle, and now we want to add a pipe coming out from the middle there. So I'm going to go ahead and select the polygons in here. Go to select. Go ahead and select all of these polygons in the center. Okay, I want to go ahead and inset those. Okay, and now I'll say OK, and then I want to scale this so that it is more of a cylinder. Okay, more of a circle shape. All right, scale it up a little bit. All right, now let's go ahead and inset that one more time. Just a very small amount. Okay, and now we can start to extrude this up. So go ahead and say extrude. Okay, and this we want to go all the way up to the ceiling. So we can make that 8 feet or whatever. Actually we want it to be about 10. We'll make it about 10 feet. And we may need to do some scaling, but at any point you can just grab those vertices and move them around. So that's not a problem. So go ahead and delete those polygons. All right. So now that we have this, I'm going to go ahead and just move both of these things over back into kind of position here a little bit. Okay. And so you got your pipe right up here, and we can take that pipe and just make sure that it's going to go up through the ceiling. All right, and now what we want to do is the next thing we want to do is actually make some shelves that come up here, and we can actually again just use the geometry. We haven't created any new shapes or geometry. We're actually just using a single piece here, and so we can create these shelves that are going to go up here using this geometry as well. All right, so we'll continue on with our fireplace in the next lesson.